everyone, my name is teacher Ilona Smith. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Alright, June exams, here we go. Today I'm going to explain what to expect in a grade 10 paper 1 and paper 2. Let's kick it. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. So grade 10s, it's the first time you're writing business studies for term 2, and as you are well aware, you are writing two papers. You're writing a business studies paper 1 and a paper 2. Scary, I know, but I got you. So today I'm going to go through what to expect in paper 1 and what to expect in paper 2. And some nice exam tips that you've always been asking for on how to approach these two exam papers. Alright, so as you'll see here on the screen, we have paper 1. So it is divided into, you'll see on the left-hand side, it's divided into business environments, and on the right-hand side, business operations. So what chapters to expect for paper 1? We're looking at all the business environments. So we're looking at the micro environment, the market environment, the macro environment, the relationship between these three environments, and then the business sectors. Then on the business operations side, we are looking at the business functions, that's like your admin, your marketing, and so on. And then the concept of quality. So you may ask yourself, why has it been put into a table, and why have these chapters been categorized specifically according to the sides? So if we work left to right, you will see which questions will be on the following chapters. So we have 6 questions in paper 1 and paper 2. How it is split up is in total, you will do 4 questions, right? Bear with me because this might get confusing. All right, so we have section A, B, and section C. In section A, you will have question 1, which will be multiple choice. In this question, you'll see it's all the chapters combined, so you can be asked on any of these chapters here. And as I said, it's multiple choice, and it's also your, you need to take a word and put it into the sentence where it matches. Then when we have section B, you'll see there's 3 questions, question 2, 3, and 4. You need to answer 2 questions, any 2 questions of your choice. Here's where the table becomes applicable. So working left to right. Question 2 will be about business environments. So we're looking at micro, macro markets, the interrelationship, and business environments. Then question 3 will be the chapters on the right, business operations. So it's business functions, and then the concept of quality. So question 4, you'll see it's a combination of both the business environments and the business operations. So the question in total counts 20 marks. So 10 marks you'll see is business operations, and there's a heading for it. And then the second section will be business operations, which will be another 10 marks, leading up to those 20 marks. Then we have section C, which is question 5 and 6, the dreaded essay. I've put a link up above that you can go check for how to write a business studies essay. All right, so we have question 5 and 6. 2 questions, you only need to do 1. So how does it work? The first essay, question 5, will be about business environments. And then question 6 will be business operations. So let's go through an exam paper so I can show you exactly in more detail and a bit more, how can we say it, practical on how exactly they set up an exam paper. In front of me, I've got the Eastern Cape grade 10 business studies. It's the May paper, but May, June falls in the same term. All right, so paper 1, you'll see all the instructions. You're welcome to pause the video and go through all those instructions. I'm not going to go through them right now at this moment. What I would say is important is to look at this table. In this table, you can see how long you should spend on each of the questions, right? So you'll see question 1, you spend 15 minutes. Question 2, 3, and 4, you'll do 2 of them, so you should spend 15 minutes on each, counting up to 30 minutes. And then the essay is 30 minutes. I would say plan your time out well so that you don't spend too much time on one question and then waste time for another question like the essay, for argument's sake. All right, so here, like I said, is question 1. So here you can see it's multiple choice. The 4 basic management tasks are A, B, C, or D. Then the next question, we're talking about what are people who have unlimited needs and wants that need to be satisfied. Then we're talking about an environment that includes local authorities, regional and central government, and so on. The next one you'll see, like I said, sorry about the spacing. I see it's done in a Word document. I downloaded it and the spacing and the formatting is a little bit off. Sorry about that. So here you'll see you need to choose a word from the text box and put it into the sentences. So what transports goods from the firm to the consumers? You'll choose an answer from the text box. Agents or brokers who facilitate the transfer of goods and services are called, and so on. But you can see that all the chapters are mixed. There's no specific chapters here. Then, important, section B. Here you'll see business environments. Okay, so these questions will only be about the business environments. Just to recap, it's the micro, macro market, the interrelationship of them, and the business sectors. Right, so here we have elaborate on the meaning of the market environment. Outline the three components of macro environment. Then you need to name the sector from the scenario, identify the challenges, and then briefly explain the reasons why the following components pose a challenge to the business. Okay, so as you can see, like I said, it will only be about those chapters and those chapters only. Now we move on to question 3. See the heading question 3, business operations. All right, here we are outlining the differences between management and leadership, which forms part of the business functions chapter. Discuss the implications of National Consumer Protection Act. Advise the business on the importance of public relations. Again, here we're talking about all the different business functions. Remember, quality of performance can also be included here. And then the last one is the financial function. Then you'll see question 4. We have miscellaneous topics. Like I said, you see here, business environments, and if you put this together, it's 8 marks. It's meant to be 10, but it is split basically half and half. Business operations, and then your questions. And then you'll see it's a total of 20 marks for this particular question. So in the business environment section, we have outline the 4 components of market environment, and then distinguish the difference between primary and secondary sector. Then the business operations, remembering the chapters there. We're talking about outlining 2 management tasks and then identifying the levels of management and motivating your answer. Right, then we move on to section C. Again, 2 questions, you answer 1 only. So, question 5, again, look at the heading, business environment. Spelled a little bit wrong, that is my bad. All right, so write an essay on the following, the meaning of microenvironments. Then you're describing the following components. After that, you're looking at the purpose of the organizational culture, and then the relationship between micro, macro, and market. Can you see it is only about those chapters? Moving on. Question 6, business operations. Here we have outlined the differences between quality control and quality assurance. I think there we can see which chapter we're talking about. It's quality of performance. Explain the importance of the quality for businesses, and then distinguish the correlation between management and the success of the business. And then we're looking at the quality indicators, so general management function and financial function. Right, so you may ask, why am I going through this and why is the table important? Well, let's go back to the table. If we look at the table, we can already start deciding which chapters to focus on and maybe to spend a bit more attention on when studying. So already now, I know a lot of learners ask, give hints on the essay and give hints on what the essay are. The unfortunate thing is, as teachers don't know. If it's a district paper or a provincial paper, we have no idea what the essay is going to be. And if anything, if we let the learners know, we're just disadvantaging you at the end of the day. Because I know it's only grade 10, but once you get to grade 12, you don't get a scope. You don't get any hints and tips. So by doing this, we are disadvantaging the learners, and that's not what we do here on this channel. So if we look at paper 1, right? Already, like you saw in that past paper, you can see for yourself. Question 5 is going to be the business environments. So already you know, if you want to do that essay, that's what you need to be preparing for to write an essay on. If you want to do question 6, which is business operations, they'll be looking at business functions or the concept of quality. They could do an essay on either of them. Now remember, on the business environments, they normally combine these, like we saw in the previous paper. They normally ask a little bit about micro, macro, and market on all the different environments, right? So when we go back to section B, you're answering 3 questions. So my advice to you would be, we now know question 2, and you can look at past papers and check this theory out. Okay, it's not actually a theory, it's how papers are set up. So if you look at question 2, it is business environments. And like I said, business environments only. So you know, if you're answering question 2, you know which chapters to look at. When looking at question 3, it's business operations. You know what the questions are going to be, and you can see already what are the type of questions to expect. Then when you look at question 4, it's a mixture between both of them. So my advice, only advice, would be look at the 2 sides and spend a bit more attention on one of them. And then what you can do is, let's say for argument's sake, you choose business operations. So then you know in the paper, you will be answering questions 2, question 4, and question 5, right? And remember, you cannot disregard the other side. I think I need to put this in bold writing. Oh, there it is. You cannot disregard the other side. I think that's the most important part of this video. You cannot disregard the other side, and in no way am I saying that you must not study the one side or the other. I am not saying that. I'm just saying the essay counts 40 marks of your 100-mark exam paper. So start planning, start preparing, start looking at which one is going to be the essay, and start looking at which side to spend more time and more focus on. Like I said, you can already decide when studying which essay you are going to do. So then go to your textbook, go look. There's a lot of practice essays to do. Go look at past papers, look at what the type of questions are that they ask when it comes to an essay. So already that should make it a bit easier. I do hope that that helps. But before you get going, let's look at paper 2. All right, so paper 2, we have business ventures and business roles. So on business ventures, we have forms of ownership. On business roles, we have social responsibility and contemporary socio-economic issues. All right, so once again, how does this work? We work left to right. So 6 questions. Question 1, we said, is mixed. So it's all the chapters. Then we have question 2, 3, and 4. Question 2 will be business ventures. Question 3 will be business roles. And question 4 will be a combination between the 2. Section C, question 5 will be business ventures. Question 6 will be business roles. So let's dive into it. Okay, again, I've got an Eastern Cape past paper for June. Right, moving on there, you can see everything. Okay, there is a bit of an error. I just need to make note of it and mention it, that the paper is out of 100 marks and it is only an hour paper. So here at the top where it says 2 hours, that is an error. It is an hour and a half paper. Sorry, it's an hour and a half paper. It is in fact not 2-hour paper. All right, so again, question 1, like I said, you can pause the video, go through this, but it's all mixed and it's multiple choice. So all those questions there. And then moving on, we have, in this example, we have the table, so match column A with column B. Then moving on to section B. Okay, question 2, see the heading, business ventures. Right, so here we're looking at name 2 types of cooperates. That's a form of ownership. Outline 2 factors to be considered when choosing the form of ownership. Identify the forms of ownership. Outline the differences between the 2 that you identified. Advise the business on the advantages of state-owned companies. Then move on to question 3, business roles. Here we're looking at 4 examples of CSR projects, corporate social responsibility. Outline any 3 initiatives to take to address HIV/AIDS, also corporate social responsibility. Suggest initiatives that the businesses can do to address unemployment. Then the miscellaneous topics. Again, you see it's split half and half. We have business ventures, and then we have questions on business roles. Important, before I forget, you have to do both of them. You're just robbing yourself of marks if you do not do the entire question 4. So, identify the form of ownership from the statements below, and then outline advantages of cooperates. So here you can see, once again, it's only form of ownerships that they're asking. Then elaborate on the meaning of corporate social responsibility, describe the term inclusivity, that is in socioeconomic issues, and then explain the purpose of inclusivity. Then the essay, business ventures, once again, meaning of private company, the differences between private and public, characteristics of private, then we have the advantages of private. Business roles, here we're looking at the meaning of socioeconomic issues, crime, strikes, the impact on the business, the different types of gambling and their impact, and then the solutions to piracy. Okay, so like I said, once again, we cannot disregard one side or the other. So another thing that helps is if you're a learner that struggles with the forms of ownerships, well, now you know which side to focus on. Am I saying disregard forms of ownerships? No, never, ever, ever. Okay, it's important to study both sides, but it does help learners, and I really hope that this helps you bag a lot of those marks and do the best of your ability. Grade 10s, I know this is scary, but you've got this. You've got this, and just know that term 2 is a lot more difficult. So if your marks do drop, please don't be discouraged. Just know you're writing on a lot more work than you wrote on in term 1, first of all. Second of all, you're writing 2 papers. It's your first time writing a June exam for business studies, and you're writing 2 papers, and you're getting used to the structure and all of that. So don't stress, you've got this, and I'm wishing you all the very best of luck. If you have questions, please comment down below. And for those that have wondered, no, Teacher Ilona Smith is going nowhere. I might just take a break every now and again from YouTube, which maybe is a bad thing, but life gets busy, but trust me, I love doing what I do. And if anything, I get very disappointed when I can't upload. So I see your comments. I have been commenting recently and just catching up on those. But as for me, I am not going anywhere. I'm so happy to be here. And I love the impact. It warms my heart, the impact that I'm making, the influence on learners' lives. So all the very best of luck, grade 10s. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.